Welcome to the Floral POS. This is our basic training video. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over the main screen here, all of the icons we have all around the outside perimeter of the program, and then we'll go into order entry right in the center of the program. So if you look in the upper left hand side of our program, we have the time clock. So if you click on that, you can basically clock in and clock out. And we also have our admin time clock admin button right here. This allows you guys to print out time sheets and all that good stuff. Below the time clock, we have our deliveries due today, pickups due today, CODs due today, and then estimates due today. These are just quick links that allow you to click on them and see like deliveries due today. And it'll pop up open all of your orders that are due today that are deliveries. In the center of the screen here, we have our customer administration button. We have our order browser. We have our inventory, and then we have our control panel. So I'll kind of show each one of those to you, but we weren't not going to go deeply into each icon. That'll be in a different video. So here's customer admin. Here's our order browser, which we will come back into this. This is where all your orders will reside once you take them, allowing you to go back and edit the order or reprint if you need to. This is your inventory screen. And then your control panel. The control panel has 4 tabs: back office, system configuration, system tools, and system management. So there's a lot of icons in here. System management is going to give you all of your manager tools: delivery manager, employee manager, funeral manager, reminder manager. There's tons of really cool stuff in here to play with. Again, in another video. System configuration allows you to configure our application to tailor your shop. And then back office is like your reports and transaction histories and stuff like that. Again, we'll come back to that in a different video. On the upper right hand side of the screen here, we have our support information, our phone number, our email address, and then also the version of software that you're currently running. And then next to our support information, we have a smiley face, which we always recommend you guys use if you have a question, a quick question that doesn't need to be answered right away. You basically pop in your information in here, take a screenshot if you'd like to, and then you send it on its way to us. That'll go to one of our technicians, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. On the left-hand side of the screen here, you have your admin menu, and that can be on the left side or it can be on the right side of the screen. Generally, it's on the right side when we first install you. This admin menu is it's basically a menu for any employee. So you guys can set up to 6 icons, and that can be saved inside the employee's profile. So if you have like a delivery driver, he can put his delivery icons here on whatever station he connects to. Let's say he's in the back, like station 5. It doesn't matter what station he's at, but let's say he's in the back. That's where he stages all his deliveries. Once he signs in, it'll have all his delivery icons here. Same thing for your admin and any of your employees. It's kind of a neat little quick tool to have. That way you don't have to go deeply into control panel. You know, a couple clicks in and click on an icon. You can have it right here at your fingertips. At the very bottom of the screen here, we have our message center, and I have it starting closed. You guys can have it starting open if you'd like. And this is basically where all your messages flow, like from BloomNet, which is 1-800-Flowers, from FSN, from Bloom Nation, or whatever website you're connected to. All of those orders will flow right here into your message center, and then you have this one click of the button, the action button here. It'll automatically open up like the Flower Shop Network order and allow you to accept it. It'll open up one of your website orders, allow you to view it and print it. And we also even send messages about backups and updates and all that cool stuff right into your message center. It's kind of a neat little tool where everything kind of flows together. If you do have it starting minimized, when a new message comes in, it'll automatically pop open and show you the message until it's been cleared, and then it'll automatically drop back down again. All right, so let's go over order entry now. So right in the center of your screen, you have your 4 squares in store, delivery, pickup, and wire. At the top of the middle of the screen, you have your software version again. It also shows you how many orders you have today, and then it breaks those orders into 4 areas, which is kind of neat. At the bottom of this center screen, we have our station number. So if we do call you and say, hey, what station are you on, having a problem on, or an issue on, or need to be trained on, you can look here and it'll say station 1. So let's do a in-store order. And we're going to start with the shopping cart. So we're going to do ROS for roses. And then we're going to do maybe a balloon. So all I'm doing is typing in the what I'm looking for in the item category. You can do that in item name, and then you can click on the search button here, or you can hit the enter key on the keyboard. So if you look at our shopping cart now, we have a dozen red roses. We have one of them for $59.99. We have some Mylar balloons. We only have one of them. Let's say we want 3 of those, and we want them to be red, white, and blue. And then when you're done with the order itself, you click on the take payment button here, the little money button. That saves the order and then takes you right to your payment area. So inside of here, we have the payment type selected as cash. We do have it so you can basically set your default payment method. And that's going to be, normally it's credit card. I'd say like most of our florists, 85% of them use credit cards first, and then, cash, and then maybe a check for like invoice payments. So it would start with credit card first up here. But in this example, we'll just do cash. Let's say they gave us $100. So once you type in $100 here, you just hit add payment, or you can select what you want to have happen when you hit add payment. So if you want to print a receipt, a work ticket, email a receipt, email a work ticket. Now this will be set as default based on your settings in the control panel. If you notice, when I first came in here, I toggled this off just because I don't want to print a receipt during the training here. But that's all customizable for you guys as well. So we're going to add payment. That's going to automatically pop your cash drawer if you have one connected. It's going to print the receipt. It's also going to flash the change on screen here for 10 seconds. Kind of cool, right? All right, now that we're done with the in-store order, let's go ahead and go to delivery. So let's click on the delivery button. It looks very similar to in-store, but you notice on the right-hand side, it's got more information about the customer, recipient, and delivery dates and time and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and do roses again. So ROS, hit enter. Let's do balloons. And let's do a plush. There we go. Everything looks good as far as I'm concerned here in the shopping cart. So on the right hand side, we will start with the customer. So this customer area is very powerful. It's a search tool, but it's also allowing you to add new customers as well. So let's do Big Bird as our customer. Give him a phone number. And let's hit enter on the keyboard, or you can hit the search magnifying glass. So if it would have found Big Bird with his phone number, it would automatically grab his information and pull it into the order, but it did not find him. So now we have the opportunity to add his address, information about him as well, his phone number, if it was a mobile phone, email address, add any notes. But in this example, Big Bird with the phone number is good enough, so we're just going to hit the plus button here. It's going to add the customer to your system and add them to your order. If you notice now, Big Bird has a customer ID of 6090. Let's go ahead and clear that out. Let's do Little Bird. New number. Again, hit enter on the keyboard. It doesn't find Little Bird, so now we have the opportunity to add him to our system. So let's hit the plus button to add him. So it adds him to our system, adds it to the order. Now Little Bird's got a customer ID of 6090. So I'm only doing that because I want to show you guys, like, you can search for anything. So last names may be pretty good too if they don't know the number or whatever. So if you just go bird and hit enter, it's going to show you all the birds that are in our system. We have Little Bird and Big Bird. So let's say you wanted to, it was Big Bird, you select them and then you just hit the down arrow to add him to the order. Again, if you know the number is probably the best way to search. 666-777-8888, and then enter. It automatically found Big Bird. He was the only one with that phone number, and it pulled him into the system. Now, had there been more people under that same phone number, it would show you all the people that are against that phone number. Pretty cool, right? So let's go ahead and select myself, Tim Bell. So once this customer is in the system for a while and they've taken a bunch of orders, it'll actually show you their average sale. Right now it says I have $0 in average sales, but if you have multiple orders, it'll let you know what their average sale is. It also will pull their customer notes in here so that you as a cashier taking the order, you can see information that you want to see about that customer. Now once this customer is selected, down below is it's pretty neat. It actually lights it up and gives you a lot of really tools to make quick order entry, quick recipient entry. So we have this, what I call the Batman utility belt here. We have the customer recipients, shop frequent locations, funeral manager, web search, and to customers. So let's go over each one, what they do. First one is customer recipients. So if this customer has ordered before and sent to a recipient before, all that information will be stored here. So they've sent to Katrina, Alicia, Zachary, sent to himself, and sent to Joe. So if you click on Katrina, if you sent information or orders to that person, it'll actually show all the items they've actually sent and card messages as well inside of here. So let's go ahead and hit Katrina select her real quick by clicking on the down arrow. Brings her information into the order. So that's pretty quick, right? So we just click here, select Katrina, select, and she's there. But some of my florists were like, that's not quick enough. So if I just type in K for Katrina here in the first name area, it'll pull her information here. You just click on it, and automatically brings it in. Pretty cool. Next area we have here is shop frequent locations. So this is basically areas that you guys deliver to quite a bit. So a lot of times it's funeral homes or hospitals. You can see we have a lot of funeral homes in here. So you guys would add these by yourself behind the scenes, or you can add them on the fly while you're taking an order. So let's say we're going to send one to Bernhardt Funeral Home. And if you also notice about the shop frequent locations, they can have their own delivery charge if you want them to as well. So maybe you worked out a deal with Bernhardt Funeral Home that they get a $5 delivery charge, even though they're in like a $10 delivery charge area. You can do that. So let's select Bernhardt Funeral Home. There's their information. Now you can put the information about the deceased up here. That also is, we made it so you can do that as quickly as well. So if you start typing in Bernhardt Funeral Home here, it does pop up. You just click on it and it pulls that information in. Our next button here is called Add Shop Frequent Address. And I'm going to kind of come back to that. So what that is, it's basically a quick button that allows you to automatically add information in here. So if you start typing in here and nothing pops up, so you can add all the information, just hit the quick button and add it real quickly. But we'll show you kind of a neat tool where the web search and this button work together. It's kind of a neat thing. We'll come back to it in a second. So the next button we have here is our funeral manager. So this is where you can basically add all your funerals for the week. I know a lot of you guys will go into the obituary section and pull information, knowing that you might be one of two or only flower shop in that area. And if you get all the funeral work, you can just do all the work with the obituaries and put the funeral information right inside of here. But it's kind of a neat thing too. So let's go back to our shop frequent locations. Let's say Bernhardt Funeral Home. Let's say Bob Denver is our deceased. Let's go down here and say that service is on Monday. Let's say it's at not any time, but a specific time between 10 and 12 or something. So we have all this information. So it's kind of neat. We don't have to actually save it. We don't have to actually like retype it every time. We can save it inside the funeral manager. So if I click on the funeral manager button here, it pulls that information through. And now I can hit save. And now the funeral for Bob Denver is now saved. So now every other station I have can pull that information. So let's go ahead and clear everything out again. And let's go into our funeral manager. There's our services for Bob Denver. And hit select, pulls that information. Not only the information about the funeral home and the deceased, but also the date and the time, which is really neat. Our next button we have here is called the web search. And that's why I was going to show you the web search, and then we'll work on the add shop frequent address. So if I click on the web search, this is kind of a neat little tool that allows you guys, instead of having to go outside the Floral POS and go into your web search and look at Google and try to find addresses or phone numbers, you can do it right here. So let's say you want to see funeral homes in around our flower shop here. So we live in Akron, New York. So I just put that city state zip here, select funeral home, hit search. It goes to Google, and it pulls out all the funeral homes that are basically in this area, phone numbers and everything. And you can easily just grab this information and add it to your order. And then from here, you can, if this isn't already in your system as a frequent address, you can just hit the plus button here, and now it's added. Pretty cool. Let's go back into our web search area. So it does funeral homes, hospitals, florists, church, veterinary care, and schools. Now there's actually those are the ones that we put in there. You can type whatever you want inside of here. And here's a list of all the supported locations. Try to bring it over to you guys so you can see it. There's a lot of supported locations inside of here. So let's do the hospitals. Let's do around our area here. There we go. Pretty cool. The next button on our list here is Reset Recipient Fields. All that does is just clear everything out. Basically put that in there for myself, but could be easy. Maybe you guys typed a bunch of information, you want to reset it really quick. Last button we have here is To Customer. So what this does is it allows you to, if you did all the hard work and grabbed Tim's information as a customer, instead of having to ask him again if he's like, hey, can you send it to my wife at home? You already have his home address up here. So if you hit To Customer, it just grabs his information and drops it in here, and then you can just change it to his wife's name. Let's go into this. All right, so last thing, last couple buttons here inside a recipient. We have Shop, City, State, and Zip, and then we also have Map. So Map Recipient Address is kind of a neat little thing. It allows you to, maybe you're not sure if $5 is enough. So if you're not sure exactly where this is at. So when you hit Map Recipient Address, it'll automatically map from your shop to where your recipient is. And then it'll actually, it's kind of neat. It kind of gives you like the distance, right? So this one here is 879 miles. So I'm thinking that $5 is definitely not enough. So also we have the City, State, and Zip. So if you don't have this set up, this serves as two purposes. If you don't have it set up to do the address verification, it's by default it'll automatically auto-complete your City, State, and Zip. So if you know your zip's 14001 and then you hit this little button here, it'll automatically backfill for you. Akron, New York. Now if you have the opposite, Akron, New York, and then you don't know what the zip code is, you can backfill this way and it'll automatically put the 14001. And if you do notice that I have address verification on, so it's basically saying, hey, it's unable to verify address because there's no address entered, which is kind of neat. But it still automatically backfills your City, State, and Zip for you, which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead and grab Katrina in here and move on to our delivery date and delivery charge. So delivery date's very easy. You just select a date from drop down. We do have blackout dates set up behind the scenes, so you guys can set up dates so that if one of your cashiers selects a particular date to be delivered, it'll automatically prompt them and let them know it's not available to be delivered, and then it'll give them the reason why, which is kind of neat. We can go over that in a different video. We have delivery charges, and then delivery instructions, delivery times. So if you see anytime, AM, PM delivery, which are all customizable behind the scenes, and then you can change the specific time between 10 and whatever, Moving over to the left side of the screen here, we have our card message. A lot of really powerful stuff here as well. So we have acronyms. So if you do a happy birthday, HB, love, Tim, all you got to do is click on either F1 on the keyboard, or just click on this little orange button here, and it automatically converts happy birthday, or HB, to happy birthday, and it automatically selects your occasion as birthday here. Now this is all set up behind the scenes here inside of our favorite card messages. So you can actually tether an occasion to an acronym and a card message. So if you see here, anniversary occasion is tethered to HA as your acronym, and it'll automatically convert to happy anniversary with the exclamation point. There's HB, GWS, and these can all be added by you guys, either inside the order while you're taking an order, or you can add them behind the scenes in control panel. So we have a couple other things here inside the card message. We have a button here that allows you to make this bigger so you can see what you're typing. This does scroll up and down if you don't want to hit that button, but this gives you a little bit more real estate to look at. And then we have font that is savable per order. So if you look here, it says Arial 10. We can actually do whatever font we want. So let's do like a script. If I can find it. There's a lot of them in here, right? Actually, this is getting to our next point too, because there are so many fonts in Windows. So for you guys to have to actually, I can't find the script one right now, but for you, there it is. If for you guys have to search like that every time, would be a pain, right? Like you're like, man, I know what it is, but I can't find it because there's so many in here. So that'll go to our next point here in a second. So this drop down shows you all of your different fonts, and then you have your font sizes. So you can go bigger, smaller, and that'll automatically translate into the card message on your nice pretty paper, on your Dove paper, on your any paper that you have that's a combined ticket. But now I'm talking about the fonts here, and there's so many of them. You can actually go into this button here called Favorite Fonts, which also is inside a control panel, and it allows you to select your fonts that are favorites. So let's say that Arial Narrow is one of my favorites. Let's say that Cambria is one of my favorites. Let's say that let's do this one here. It's one of my favorites. So I got 3 favorites. Now here's you have the default one, and then the 3 favorites that you selected. Now you don't have to worry about it. It's a lot quicker for you guys. Kind of a cool thing. So once your card message is set up, you have an opportunity to put in your an order note if you'd like to. You can add as many order notes as you want to the order. So if it's a bigger order that you're working on for a while, you can add whatever note here and add it, and it'll automatically show your pinned note, and then you can view all the notes that you have against this order, which is pretty neat. Once you're done, click on the money button, take payment. Same thing as the walk-in, but there's a little couple extra things here. Down in the print area, now you have an area for combined ticket. If you notice, by default, this is automatically going to print a receipt, one of them, and it's automatically going to print a combined ticket. If you did want a work ticket as well, which is a 8.5 by 11, you can toggle that on. If you wanted to email a work ticket or a receipt together, you could do that. It'll automatically do that all for you. I'm going to go ahead and toggle these all off. They're going to give us exact change. Let's go ahead and add payment. And that's a delivery order. So we'll come back. I'm going to go do a delivery order again, just a little quicker. When you're training, you kind of go through it slowly, and it seems like it's going to take forever, but it doesn't. Once you get it down, it goes quickly. Also, if you notice in the center of the screen, it shows that you have 2 orders today, two total orders today, and it breaks them out in store and delivery, which is neat. So let's go ahead and do the delivery really quick but fast. So let's do roses. Let's do plush. Let's go ahead and select Tim Bell as our person. And let's go ahead and use Zachary as the recipient. Let's say we want to deliver on the 7th. And let's say it's a birthday. And take the money button. Let's go ahead and say that it was $70 cash. All done. All right, so we're gonna go over pickup next. Very similar to delivery order. Click on the pickup button. You can see it looks almost identical, just a different color. On the right hand side, we do have the customer, and then instead of actually recipient, it's who's picking this up. And then we have pickup instructions down below here on the right hand side. So let's do again roses. A lot of roses getting sold. Plush bear. Tim Bell is your customer, and then who's picking this up. You can just hit the down arrow to to customer, drops that information down if you want to. You can leave it empty as well, but to customer drops that information. It could be somebody else that's picking it up. You could actually say maybe Katrina's going to pick it up for you. You can do that as well. So pickup date, pickup instructions, anytime, whatever. You can do a pickup time, card message as well. So let's do happy anniversary, H.A. Love Timothy. Automatically do our acronym. Automatically does happy anniversary, selects anniversary for your occasion, and then we go in the money button. Now, if you're gonna notice, there's a lot of extra buttons here, which we'll go over in a deeper video, but we do have a reminder service as well. So that's why occasions are very, very important, not only for reporting purposes, for you guys to maybe print out emails or phone numbers for callbacks, but you can set up your reminder service too to automatically capture like anniversaries, capture like birthdays, any occasion you want. It'll automatically capture that for you, which is really cool. And then you can set up a reminder later on to remind that person like next year, a couple of days before their anniversary, before their birthday, all that stuff, which is kind of cool. So we're going to go in our money button, and we're going to, again, $100 cash, add payment, pops the cash drawer, prints receipts. and they're on their way. So generally in our training, we only go over in-store delivery and pickup. We do have our wire button. If you do click on that, it gives you a wire in and wire out. So wire in would be, if you did do wire in, that'd be like you had like a Teleflora or FTD order that we don't integrate directly with, but you could take that order and you could manually enter it into our system, and then you can print out all the information on one of your combined tickets. Wire out would be like if you have same thing. If you did have Teleflora FTD, you can do that in here to keep track of it. It just won't automatically get sent to the Teleflora network or to the FTD network. But if you do 1-800-Flowers BloomNet, if you do FSN, wire out actually is exactly where you want to go. It looks very, very similar to our delivery screen. So everything's going to flow the same, but you just have an extra area down below at the very bottom here. And you can view any of our videos online that we have for like doing a wire out with FSN, doing a wire out with 1-800-Flowers. It'll have all the information in those videos. So that's basically our basic training for now inside the Floral POS. We will have an advanced training that shows you like various other areas and control panels, some reporting stuff. And we do have videos up right now on our YouTube channel that has demo or training videos on our Reminder Manager and all the other managers that we have available. So if you have any questions, give us a call at 888-865-9768. Email us, support@floralpos.com, or again, click on a smiley face and we'll answer that feedback whenever we can get to it. So we'll see you in the next video.